Technical difficulties. I was on mute. Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Tanny. It is your boy. We back with a brand new episode here. We're talking SummerSlam. We are talking news and rumors when it comes to WWE and AEW. There are a lot of people who are on the injured list right now. We got some people in the chat right now. We got Tyson in the chat right now. We got Ray in the chat right now. He has 5 days, ladies and gentlemen. Five days left to watch the Barbie movie. If you guys want to know what happens if he does not watch the Barbie movie, tune in to the live stream on Mondays at 7:30 on the Knuckleheads Network, where we'll be finding out what his punishment is. But I think he's going to go see that movie before Monday, so he doesn't have to get through this punishment. But we're a little off track here. Hope everyone is doing well today, and let's get into the events that happened on Saturday. We had SummerSlam. It was a really big event. We had Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. We had Ricochet versus Logan Paul. We had Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. We had a triple threat match for the Women's Undisputed Championship. What did you guys think of the pay-per-view? We're going to go match by match. I'm going to give my opinions on stuff. I know when I was on Instagram, I gave my opinions on what was going on, and I got a lot of feedback from people on Instagram. So I'd love to get the feedback from everyone else that had watched the program, just setting up some stuff here while we get more people in the room right now. We got 1,100 people right now, all wanting to talk SummerSlam. Let's get into the first match of the night, which was Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Now, I know that we give Logan Paul so much shit for the things that he does outside of the ring and inside of the ring and taking opportunities from people, but I believe that this past Saturday, he proved himself to be a superstar with the WWE. He even tweeted out how he said like wrestling is more harder than boxing, right? Which proves a lot because you got to put your body through a lot when it comes to wrestling. Obviously, you got to put your body through a lot when it comes to boxing as well. But like in boxing, you're not throwing your body off the top rope and trying to land on somebody or pick them up and slam them down. There's a lot that goes into wrestling and there's a lot that goes into boxing. But I think Logan Paul did prove himself this past Saturday against Ricochet. Ricochet also proved himself that he can be that leader inside of a ring um, and take command when it comes to a match and leading someone who doesn't have too much experience in there. A lot of the times this job will be handed off to the Miz, where the Miz will be sitting there with a celebrity and being that guy that's going to guide someone in a wrestling ring. So to give that honor to Ricochet and for Ricochet and Logan Paul to put on a banger of a match to start off SummerSlam, I thought was really well put together. Obviously, a lot of people already knew that Logan Paul was going to start off SummerSlam because his brother Jake Paul was in a boxing match with Nate Diaz and he wanted to be there for his brother. So WWE honored him with that honor of just being first. People always say you want to be the first on the card and you want to be the last person on the card because those are the two matches a lot of people will remember first, and then the middle kind of sprinkles in when you have one of these matches where they kind of just steal the show. And we do have matches on that SummerSlam card that stole the show, like Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. They put on a great match as well. But let's go into more of the Logan Paul match. Obviously, he played to the crowd in the heel fashion that he should be playing into this crowd. As soon as his music hits and as soon as people got a glimpse of Logan Paul coming out of the curtain, it was automatic boos. But you did have that select few of people who were rooting for Logan Paul. Obviously, you seen that kid in the front ringside where I'm sorry, I had a little moment there where he was trying to help Logan Paul. He gave Logan Paul a prime drink. He took a sip of it, put it on Ricochet, and then threw it back into the crowd again. So like he did have his supporters there. Obviously, he had his group of friends that were there, but there was a lot of spot. Like this match was spot heavy. I really thought at one point they were going to give this match to Ricochet, but a lot of people were already saying that, like, hey, like Logan Paul needed this win. He's been losing a lot. He's been running his mouth, and now it's just a matter of time before he was going to get that win. And obviously now they gave it to him because, hey, it's Ricochet. Ricochet is always getting that end of the deal where he's sitting here not getting the match that he was. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do things here, but I'm looking at the chat as well and making sure everybody else is in the chat. I know people right now is looking at me. Lay's in the building right now on Instagram, which I am putting up right now. Put that as a pinned comment because I am also live on Instagram right now, trying to get some more people to come over to the YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching me right now on Instagram, by all means, jump to YouTube. The link is in the description, is in my bio. You could jump on YouTube and have a conversation here. We have a big party going on right now. We got 600 people right now live on Instagram, on YouTube right now, all talking SummerSlam. We're going over Logan Paul. Young Wolf is in the building. What is going on, Young Wolf? What did you think of SummerSlam? We're going over Logan Paul and Ricochet. The Spanish fly spot that these guys did on the outside of the ring almost didn't happen, right? Because you seen the first time they did it, it's like they almost didn't land. It's like Logan Paul at one point like tipped over and like Ricochet just held him up, right? And I was just like, that's gonna go wrong. And then they went and did it again, and Ricochet lands right on top of Logan Paul, which made the move look even better than what it did when they were trying to do it the first time. I love the simple fact that Logan Paul still played to the audience, and even getting Samantha involved, which is Ricochet's fiance, and making sure like she announced his name, like he wanted to hear it, right? So he's still playing off that heelish tactic of saying, like, no, you're gonna say my name. I'm gonna make your girl say my name, which is a good way to get even more heat from the crowd, right? And especially you want them to root for Ricochet even more. So Ricochet is becoming that legit baby face that they want in WWE, right? Did not expect that Logan Paul was going to have a friend with him just because like KSI made that appearance on WrestleMania. Obviously, Jake Paul is off in Dallas getting ready for a boxing match. So we didn't think that his brother was going to show up. But then to have a friend, to have somebody that no one knows at all, come in, give him brass knuckles, and finish off Ricochet with that knockout punch that he's been quote unquote promoting in WWE for quite some time, and a lot of people say that it's a bullshit um punch. Like even Lay says that it was, like it's shit of a move, but at the end it worked for him because he used it to sit there and get the win with the brass knuckles. A lot of people were giving this match 4 to 5 stars. Uncle Dave, I don't know what he gave. I really don't give a shit exactly what he gives on it. But um, for me, I would say I would give this match 4 stars. It was entertaining from beginning to end, and it got the crowd going to hype up this pay-per-view that has been hyped up for months now, especially us trying to lead into the Bloodline storyline, where we're like, what's gonna happen next with with the Bloodline, with Roman Reigns? Is he gonna lose the title? Is he gonna stay there? You know, so on and so forth. Young Wolf is like, Paul and Ricochet wasn't that bad, but like was a match. I'm gonna put this up on the screen here. Match was just having a match, like it was the end goal, besides Paul being a bit okay. All right, now I see what he was trying to say there, but I guess was in support of this match as well, but we're gonna move on to the next one. Let's see here. The next match we had was Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Obviously, a lot of people were already rooting for Cody Rhodes. A lot of people are still confused as to why we were getting Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes 3. We was still even wondering, where a lot of people kind of wondered, why did Brock Lesnar turn on Cody after WrestleMania, when they were supposed to have that tag match against Solo and Roman Reigns at Monday Night Raw. But like I said before, if you guys have been following me throughout the months here on the channel, you obviously know that I said that, in order to get to Roman Reigns, you have to put Cody through like all these obstacles. You can't just hand Cody an opportunity and expect the fans to sit there and be behind him 100%. We've seen this happen time and time again, where you put a superstar in front of a champion, or you push a superstar to down people's throats, and people start to dislike this person very fast. A lot of people were wondering why Cody Rhodes didn't win at WrestleMania 39, and I was one of those people that said he didn't need to win at WrestleMania 39, for the simple fact that if you would have put the title on Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, there wouldn't have been an opponent for Cody Rhodes to face. Cody's title reign would have been garbage from the beginning. I love the simple fact that you're making Cody Rhodes now even more work for this title, work to get that opportunity, and work to sit there and go up against Roman Reigns one more time, which is most likely is going to happen at WrestleMania 40. We're like 8 months away from WrestleMania 40, and WWE is going to continue to put these roadblocks on Cody, and this is why we got Brock Lesnar. In the beginning, I believe that if Randy Orton wasn't hurt right now, that Randy Orton would be that roadblock for Cody Rhodes. Would have it been before Brock Lesnar, or it would have had it been after Brock Lesnar, we would have had known. But the simple fact that they're making Cody Rhodes now work for this opportunity, because if he didn't get that pec torn the way he did, I strongly believe he would have won Money in the Bank. We would have never had the winner that we had. I don't think Damian Priest would have been the Money in the Bank winner. I don't even think that Austin Theory at the time would have been the Money in the Bank winner either. Either would have went to Cody for Austin Theory, and he would have cashed in against Roman somehow. You know what I mean? It's something that, like, you sit there and you wonder to yourself, like, what were the work? I wish that we would know what the working plans were for Cody before he got hurt, because I strongly believe they would have put the title on him right away, instead of just making him work for it, like everyone has been saying since day one when he entered this company, right? So now we get Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Obviously, we already knew what we was getting into with this type of match, especially with Brock Lesnar. It started off where Cody was the one that wanted to start off attacking Brock Lesnar off the rip, which was great. It was great to see. LaFlocka's in the house. What's going on? But Brock Lesnar was still showing why he is the beast and why he is the top person in WWE when it comes to going through the title. No matter who the champion is, some way, somehow, Brock Lesnar is there to be that, either that roadblock, or he is going to whip your ass and take the title, depending on how or who the champion is. Obviously, for the last 3 years, there's been Roman Reigns, so we've gotten more and more matches between Roman and Brock Lesnar. I like the simple fact that they didn't let Cody sit there and just continue on being a strong contender in this match. This match to me looked like if it was like a Rocky Balboa and the Russian moment, where, like, you literally thought, like, are we going to get a Cody versus Brock 4? For the simple fact that there was times where, like, even when Brock Lesnar did the F5 on the outside of the ring, I was just like, man, you're getting close to being counted out. You're still playing off the arm injury. Could this be an opportunity where you're going to give us a bullshit match and we're going to end up being pissed off because this was not the match that we wanted? But, WWE giving that swerve to us and still having Cody, come away with the victory was great. There was a lot of things in this match that kind of, confused me, where Brock Lesnar put Cody through a table, and then at one point Cody takes steel steps and hits Brock Lesnar with it. I kind of felt like maybe the referee was just like, you know what, I'll let one slide, I'm gonna let this slide, but the next two, something happens. Hey, right? Brock Lesnar's shorts ripping. At first, I didn't even notice it until I started watching it, and then I went back and I was just like, wait a minute, did his shorts rip? And then you look at it, and yeah, it did. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that happen to Brock Lesnar, where he had like the, wardrobe malfunction and stuff like that. But like now with Cody, getting the victory in front of his mom, giving her a hug, and we got the Cody documentary, and we're kind of wondering, like, now what's next? What is next for Cody Rhodes? Who is he gonna go after? Is he gonna go after Seth Rollins? Is he gonna go after? He's gonna continue with Roman Reigns? We'll get into maybe why Roman won't be on the table as of yet. Later on in this conversation here, but for the most part, now you're kind of leaving Cody Rhodes in limbo, because you have one champion who is constantly defending it. But is this the story that you want to continue, where we get another Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes feud? Or do we try to steer in the direction where we were going to before, where Cody Rhodes was trying to be that top guy in WWE and go after the Undisputed Championship and go after Roman Reigns, because that story there is not over. The story between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes is kind of over. Cody Rhodes defeated Seth Rollins a number of times on live TV, on house shows. So it's something that we already seen time and time again. But now we can sit there now and say to ourselves, like, hey, when are we going to get the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns feud over with? Are we going to continue the story? Are we going to see these two guys go at it? And is Cody Rhodes going to finally complete the story where he gets the belt that his dad never got, or never really was able to hold up and actually proclaim to be the champion of WWE/WWF at the time, right? The next match that we had was a match that, for me, it didn't do anything but just hype up one star even more, and to show that this guy is going to be a megastar as long as he has these people backing him, which is WWE creative and WWE management. And that's the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal. Now, we had a number of people on here. We had Apollo Crews, we had JD McDonough, we had Rick Booz, we had a returning Omos come back to this one. We had Sheamus, we had Bronson Reed, we had AJ Styles, we had Karrion Kross, and then we had Austin Theory, which I'm still wondering why Austin Theory was on there. And I know, it was brought up at the press conference to Triple H, and Triple H just said, like, Austin Theory just wanted to get in just to have like an opportunity to say that he won. But the simple fact that you're the United States champion and you were in a match, to me, should have been, if you're going to put him in a match, it should have been for the United States championship, to get that opportunity to somebody, because like the only thing I feel like this match really did was give you an opportunity to be in a commercial, which LA Knight was already in the commercial, because as soon as the match was over, they popped in the Slim Jim commercial, and you seen Bianca Belair, you seen an old school Macho Man, and then you seen LA Knight, right? So you already knew that they were already backing him already. Everyone was already in the ring. They had special interests for certain people. Still surprising to me, blows my mind where Austin Theory was not one of those people, especially being US champ, that did not come out to his entrance music. He was already in the ring. But obviously we already know, like, hey, AJ Styles came out. You had LA Knight coming out to a big pop from everyone, right? So you already knew he was the fan favorite and everybody wanted him to win. If I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a B. It was okay. It's not something that I don't think that was needed for this pay-per-view at all. I wish they would have put Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus on this card and just have this battle royal, say at a SmackDown or at Raw on Monday, because that would have been better, because there wasn't really no need to have this on there unless you just wanted to big up LA Knight just a little bit more. What can I say here? Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa was in there. He was still having that feud with Bronson Reed, so it looks like that feud is still going to keep going on from there. Santos Escobar was still trying to make his way with Austin Theory. Those two are going to go at it at SmackDown this week for the United States Championship. So, we got to see how that goes, for the most part. A match that a lot of people say that they just did not enjoy. Obviously, they either went to the bathroom. I know a lot of people that were at Detroit and were at the SummerSlam show told me that when Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler match came on, a lot of them went to the concession stand, a lot of them went to the bathroom, a lot of them went to go get merch, a lot of them started like just jonesing on their phone and talking and posting stuff. You can hear it in the arena. There were at some points where people were saying this is boring. People that were at the arena that I spoke to said the same thing, where people said, like, people were chanting, this is boring. People were just like, kind of a downfall of what was already going on in the pay-per-view itself. So for me, I felt like this was more like a, you go through the ups and downs. Every pay-per-view is like a roller coaster, right? You are going to get your highs, you're going to get your middles, you're going to get your lows, and then you're going to keep coming back up again. And Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey MMA rules match was definitely a snooze fest. But for me, I feel like you can't blame a WWE crowd for this, for the simple fact that a lot of WWE fans, some of them are not MMA fans. There's a lot of people there that, yes, we watch multiple sports and we're into different things, but then there's other times where, like, hey, there's a lot of people who are not into MMA. A lot of people don't know what MMA rules are. I wish they would have broken down to everyone exactly what the MMA rules were going to be in this match between Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. I wish they would have taken this match out of a ring setting and put it into, say, an octagon setting or a fight pit setting, and it would have made more sense. It probably would have been more entertaining. It would have felt more real. It looks like between in the matches where they were actually throwing shots at each other. If you look on Monday Night Raw, that following night, where you seen Shayna Baszler sporting that black eye, on her face, and Ronda Rousey getting hurt, and you don't know what her timetable, if she's going to come back, does she want to come back, is going to be. The referee tried his best to explain what everything was, but WWE, they're like so good at giving you video packages of stuff where you could have put a video package together to explain what these MMA rules were going to be about and what we were going to expect, but they didn't even do that. So that to me shows that, like, WWE didn't really even care about this match at all. If that was the case, you could have left it on Raw. Shayna Baszler wins this match, sends Ronda Rousey packing. There are rumors that Ronda Rousey's thinking about going back to MMA. Good luck to her on that one. Maybe she'll feel more happy out there. Maybe she'll feel better being in an MMA ring rather than being with WWE, where she wasn't really doing much with WWE at all. You don't see her out there like all the other women in the division, where they're doing interviews and they're being with the fans and doing stuff and trying to evolve the women's division. It was more like this is me, I'm Shayna Baszler, I'm Ronda Rousey, and I'm gonna just go off my name alone, where at this point in her career, her name is not really holding a lot of weight. So I think that's why she wants to go back to that MMA world, to maybe see what her name could hold in an MMA world ring or cage or octagon or wherever it is that she's going to go with. Going through my notes here, you can definitely tell the crowd was not excited during this match at all. They were really happy when Ronda Rousey lost, because it just means that we're not going to see Ronda Rousey inside of a WWE ring for quite some time now. Next match that we had was for the Intercontinental Championship. We had the champion Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. We had a returning Drew McIntyre, where a lot of people thought that we may not see Drew McIntyre for a good while. We may not even see him in a WWE ring. A lot of people thought that we were going to see Drew McIntyre go to AEW, especially with AEW having All In the UK, and Drew McIntyre being a big force out there in the UK. We really thought that was going to be that match. We was gonna get a match of Drew McIntyre in AEW, right? But that didn't happen. Drew McIntyre decides to come back, automatically starts to feud with Gunther. Gunther, still being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, he is this close, ladies and gentlemen, this close to beating the Honky Tonk Man. And I think that's why WWE is pushing this guy to the moon, to get him the star power that he needs. He already has that look. He already has that feel, but you just got to keep strapping that freaking rocket to his back and just letting him go. And just like Young Wolf said, it was just two big meaty men slapping meat. I know Big E was somewhere in Florida clapping away, laughing, because this is a match. This is the type of match that he loves. This is the type of match that a lot of people would just want to see. And what's good about a Gunther and Drew McIntyre match is that these guys, they just don't stay on. They say that their feet don't stay on the ground. You know what I mean? They love getting on the top rope. They love jumping off and doing moonsaults and high flies. Like for these guys being 285-pound guys, 6'7", 6'6", these guys move like they're fucking cruiserweights out there. And Gunther did not hold back any punches. Drew McIntyre didn't hold back any punches at all. You've seen both their chests blood red at the end of this match. At one point, I really thought that maybe WWE was going to make Drew McIntyre a lot happy and say, you know what, let's throw the title on him and see what happens, right? You know, Gunther had a really good run, but if you would have put the title on Drew McIntyre, I think we just would have gotten a rematch at Payback between Gunther and Drew McIntyre, and Gunther would have ended up just getting the title right back. You might as well just let him bypass, surpass Honky Tonk Man and then take the title away from him, which I think is going to happen very soon, which sucks for me because I'm playing fantasy wrestling right now and I got Gunther on my team. So if he loses, I'm asked out. But for the most part, I see them having another match at Payback. I see this being a rematch again at the following pay-per-view in 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, where maybe, just maybe, Drew McIntyre might be that guy and take that title away from Gunther. Great match nonetheless. I would definitely give it a 4-star for this one. I want to see what happens next. I know that Chad Gable earned the right to face Gunther for the IC title. I think that Chad Gable is a good opponent for Gunther because the last time these guys got into a ring together, they stole the show on a Monday night, and you already know when we watch shows on Monday nights, it is a fucking snooze fest half the time because we get more promos than anything else on Monday Night Raw. We get promos and we get commercials, and we already know when we get a good match, we pay attention and we try to see how this goes, right? Let's see. We're gonna go to Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. 7 years in the making, 7 years of these guys going at it with each other. The last time we seen Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in a WWE ring at a SummerSlam, Finn Balor walked away as the Universal Champion, but then he had to relinquish the title the next night because he hurt his shoulder due to a power bomb that was given to him by Seth Rollins to the outside of the ring. Can you really call it a buckle bomb? I guess I would just say it was a power bomb to the guardrails, and he ended up popping his shoulder. Doctor said he couldn't wrestle on it, so he had to give up the championship at that time, which sucked for him because he never really got that push afterwards when he came back from injury. It's kind of like WWE and Vince McMahon just like held him down afterwards and said, like, we gave you a shot, it didn't work out, go to the back of the line and we'll work with you later. There was a lot of factors in this that I was saying that night when we did the review show on Instagram, where we was just like, I really thought that Finn Balor was going to win this match, especially having Judgment Day behind him. We seen Judgment Day come out. We seen the workings of Damian Priest trying to say, hey, take the briefcase and hit Seth Rollins with it, while Rhea Ripley is distracting the referee, or if Dominic is distracting the ref. But things didn't turn out the way it did, like the way Judgment Day wanted to for Finn Balor. Obviously, Seth Rollins taking the briefcase and hitting members of the Judgment Day, and then using that same briefcase to get the curb stomp on Finn Balor and get the victory from there was the icing on the cake. Seth Rollins is still your champion going into Payback. Seth Rollins now is going to have a whole new opponent on his hands in the form of Shinsuke Nakamura, because as we've seen on Monday, Shinsuke decided to throw his hat, throw his name in the race, and attack Seth Rollins at the end of their 3-man tag team match that he had with him and Cody Rhodes against members of the Judgment Day, which is great to see that they started to push Nakamura a little bit more, because for months I've been saying, why aren't you using Nakamura? Why haven't you unleashed that Nakamura that we've seen on New Japan? And then we seen on NXT when he was champion and he was running wild there. Now we kind of they gave us like this happy Nakamura, but I'm glad to see that we're starting to get that heel character Nakamura back here again in WWE. Let's move on to the next match from there. A lot of video packages. I was going over my notes here. A lot of video packages were going on in WWE that was just like, why? You could have shortened all these video packages and still gave us another match. And then they gave us Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Undisputed Championship. Going into this match, there were two things that bothered me. One is that why was Asuka coming out second instead of coming out last, with her being the champion? I believe they should have let Asuka come out last, even though Bianca Belair got a huge pop when she came out. But Bianca Belair gets huge pops every single time she comes out, no matter where she goes, except for Puerto Rico. And I think I'm going to say WrestleMania, because I know a lot of people are going to say that. But this match, nonetheless, for me, I feel like had so many botches that it was just like, why? Like, all three women are professionals where you guys can have these non-botch moments where you're just like, okay, what is going on here? At one point, I thought Bianca Belair was seriously hurt when she went on the outside and she landed and it was like a big thud, and you sat there and you wondered to yourself, like, is she really hurt? She played it off well. Bianca Belair sitting there just showing that she could be a keen actress in a movie, because at one point I really thought that she was hurt. A lot of people thought that she was hurt. A lot of people that I spoke to over at Fine Tune Wrestling said the same thing, where they were like, they thought that she was legit hurt even when they took her to the back. Loki's in the building. What's going on, Loki, man? I'm good, man. We're just going over SummerSlam right now. We're up to the women's match right now. What else happened with this women's match here? Charlotte Flair, again, being Charlotte, we already know that, she is one of the best. She is at this stage in her career where she's going to surpass her dad in the most title reigns for a female, right? And I thought that they were going to strap that rocket to Charlotte and give her the title, especially it being a brand new title. Charlotte has held every single title in WWE so far, and WWE will continue to push Charlotte Flair. I felt bad for Asuka because Asuka was just getting that momentum going, being champion, and I thought, with the heel turn that she did, especially with the miss, that she was going to continue to be champion. But then, with this match here, it kind of made you forget a little bit that Io Sky was like in the shadows waiting, to cash in her Money in the Bank, right? So when Bianca came back, it still gave me like that. Let's go into like when Bianca went backstage, it gave me that opportunity where like I flashed right back and I said, man, Io Sky could like come in and cash in, and it could be a fatal four-way, because she can now go in and cash it in and pin Bianca, because when it's a triple threat match rules, you already know the champion has a disadvantage where she can, she doesn't have to be pinned in order to lose the title. So go for the person who has that injury already. But it took Bianca to the back. When she came back and she did her move at the end, I was just like, man, I think this is gonna end. If Charlotte did not just move slightly, she could have gotten hurt on that end of the move. And then we get the 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair again, your women's champion, but something about SummerSlam and Bianca Belair just doesn't mix well, because just as a matter, she was celebrating her victory. The music plays. Out comes Io Shirai. Everyone popped so hard when Io came out to cash in, and who was behind her? No, none other than Becky. I'm not Becky Lynch. Um, Bailey swinging away that briefcase, which I loved because that showed the teamwork between Damage Control and stopping everyone from saying that Damage Control was folding, that Damage Control was over, that Bailey is going to turn on Io because she's won the Money in the Bank briefcase. But this just showed even more that Bailey is fully behind Io Sky getting this victory, becoming champion, swinging away at everybody. Everybody, she hit Charlotte, she hit Asuka, she tried to hit um Belair, but missed. And obviously, that's when Io came and hit her in the knee. She went for the moonsault, got the victory, and now Io Sky is your new undisputed women's champion. What does that hold for Damage Control? We got to find out. We got to see what happens next with Damage Control. Will there still be some type of back and forth between all three women, or will they be a unit like they've been going for the last couple of months now? Io is going to have a great title reign that came from Loki. I felt bad for both Asuka and Belair, but I popped so hard when Io Sky cashed in. That was from Loki. Ashley's in the building right now. She's wondering if she can get on Instagram. I can't do that right now, but thanks for watching. And then we go into our main event, which was Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This was under tribal chief rules. This was a match that we all knew was going to happen sometime down the line in this bloodline storyline where Roman Reigns was going to face another family member. Roman Reigns and main event Jey Uso have not wrestled each other since Hell in a Cell, which was 3 years ago. And when we saw that, there was no live crowd. There was no reaction from the fans. It was just a whole bunch of people on a computer screen and all of us at home enjoying the COVID life because we couldn't go nowhere and we had to stay home. To have this match finally live in front of a crowd, to me, was one of the best because it just showed the pure emotion that we seen when Jey and Roman faced each other the first time at Hell in a Cell. But now you add those elements of Solo getting involved, and what that could mean for Jey as far as like maybe having Jimmy in his corner, which we didn't see. He came by himself, which was great. There were a lot of points in there where I was just like, this match is taking way too long because we already know what the outcome was going to be. A lot of people knew that Jey was not going to win this championship, but it was still going to be a good match. And we were kind of wondering whether or not the other family members from the bloodline were going to show themselves at SummerSlam, especially that they were saying that everyone from the family was going to be there. I thought at one point we may see Rikishi in the crowd or backstage with Jey talking to him, and that didn't happen. But the one thing that I knew was going to happen, and it happened, ladies and gentlemen, and that was Jimmy Uso turning on his brother. And now a lot of people are going to say, why? It doesn't make sense. And it makes perfect sense. Because when Jimmy turned his back on Roman Reigns, he did it for Jey. He did it because he got tired of seeing his brother getting abused by Roman. He was getting tired of being abused by Roman Reigns. And he decided to take a stand. And then what happens when he takes that stand? He gets hurt. And Jey steps in. And instead of Jey defending his brother and saying that I want to fight you because of what you did to my brother, he goes and says, that he wants to do it for the Undisputed Championship. So that makes me think that you didn't do it for your brother. You didn't do it for the love of the family. You did it for yourself because Jay was getting tired of being called the other twin. A lot of people forget this now because we're 3 years into a bloodline storyline where when it came to the Usos, they were given nicknames. There wasn't main event Jay Uso. It wasn't bloodline Jimmy Uso. It was the other twin Jay, which we couldn't remember his name a lot of the time. And then it was Naomi's husband, Jimmy Uso. Oh, yeah. You're married to the girl on Total Divas. That's where their names were. This is what fans were calling them when they had the face paint, and then they switched over and they changed their gear, and they came up with a different swagger when they came in, and now with this bloodline storyline, they started to come up a little bit more in the stories. They started to come up forward a lot more with the fans, where the fans now are calling Jay main event Jay Uso, where he's getting that shine. This is his second time being on a solo appearance. This is his second time being in a solo appearance as the main event. So it's a big push for him. But now his brother is playing the back end, and he's not used to it. He didn't like it. So now he's sitting there questioning himself. And he went back with Roman. Do you blame him? He knows where his butter was being, where his toast was being buttered at. And that was with the right-hand man, Paul Heyman, and Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa, and whoever else you're going to put in with the bloodline at some point. Loki goes and says, as long as Jimmy doesn't go back under the control of Roman, well, Loki, come this Friday, we're going to see Jimmy Uso acknowledge the tribal chief and go right back to the bloodline, serving Roman Reigns. There were reports before, let's pull this up here, where Roman Reigns suffered an injury at the match with Jay Uso. There is no timetable as to when Roman Reigns will be back from his injury. There were talks that Roman Reigns is going to be at SmackDown. That's going to be his only appearance, because after that, he's going to take some time off. He's not going to be around a lot when it comes to other pay-per-views. I think the next time we might see Roman Reigns on a pay-per-view will be Survivor Series. I don't think we're going to see him at Payback. I don't think we're going to see him overseas at the Saudi event. I think the next time we see Roman Reigns inside a WWE ring besides this Friday on SmackDown will be Survivor Series, because it's one of their big four. And obviously you probably want to have some type of family warfare between these four, because Solo at some point in time is going to turn his back on Roman Reigns and is going to either stay with the wise man or be on his own to get a title run. What kind of title run? No clue. There's been a lot of injuries. I'm trying to pull up here the injury report, because that was the end of SummerSlam. As I'm looking for this, I'm looking at the comments. The Bloodline storyline is just taking back another couple of months. Yeah, no, it is, because we got like 8 more months left of the year before we get into WrestleMania. So you gotta stretch it out a little bit in order to make the matches that you want for WrestleMania. I'm trying to pull up here what the injury report was, because there was a whole list of people that was put on the injury list here besides Roman. Here we go. So currently right now on injury list, we have Sonya Deville, who tore her ACL, Roman Reigns, who we don't know what his injury is. We have Kevin Owens, who is injured. We don't know what his injury is. Sami Zayn just got put on the injury list on Monday with an elbow. Bailey is still on injury list. Dakota Kai is still on the injury list. Randy Orton is on the injury list. Liv Morgan is on the injury list. Big E is still on the injury list. One half of Pretty Deadly is on the injury list. Robert Roode is on the injury list. Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Shane McMahon, R-Truth, and a handful of girls from NXT. Wendy Chu and Nikki and Nikita Lyons is all on the injury list right now. Angelina Grace is also on the injury list as well. She's a part of NXT. And then Amy Miller is also from NXT. She's on the injury list too. A lot of people are injured. And then you know what? You go fast forward to AEW. Pac is injured now as well. I seen that through the Pro Wrestling Podcast and his announcements. Pac is injured. So you're just getting injury after injury after injury in wrestling right now. You know, this is the time now where you have this whole list of people who are injured right now. This is the time now where you start building up these stars and saying to yourself, who can we put in place while our bigger guys are off TV for right now? And we need to have those fillers in there, you know? And hopefully these people start to build up. The WWE is starting to get back their women's division now because Kairi Sane is back. She just worked out a new deal with WWE. She's returning back. She finished her time over at Stardom. And that was a weird news over the weekend to get, where I really thought she wasn't going to come back. I thought she was happy at Stardom. I thought she was going to end up getting another contract with them, but she's decided not to re-sign with Stardom and go back with WWE. Obviously, they made her a really big offer in order to bring her back. What else is going on here? WWE news. Obviously, with Sonya Deville tearing her ACL, the women's tag team championships are going to be vacated. There are working plans for WWE to do something creative with the women's tag team championships, but then the way a lot of people said, they should just throw these things in the garbage. I really feel like the WWE the women's tag team championships are fucking cursed. Every single time you have a women's champion, women's tag team champs, they either are off TV because of creative or someone gets hurt. And at this point in the game, just throw them away. I mean, I love women's wrestling, but just throw these titles away. Focus on just having the women go after Shayna Baszler. I'm not Shayna Baszler. Rhea Ripley and now Io Sky, because at this point, those tag team titles are freaking cursed, and there's no way in the world you would want anyone to even hold those titles. I'm going over some news here. Let's see right here. So adding more onto this injury list here. The Bunny is still on injury list, right? But do we really care about the Bunny? I'm sorry to say, I don't think so. AEW announcing Full Gear is going to be moved to LA this year. It's going to be November 18th, and it's going to be at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, California. So I know a lot of my West Coast people are going to go over to that and have a good time with that one. I wish I can go to the West Coast and watch Full Gear. Full Gear is always a good time when they have these pay-per-views. So I know they're going to sell out and put on a really great show, especially with them trying to get All In and All Out done throughout these next couple of weeks, which is crazy because I've never seen them have back-to-back pay-per-views like that. Already Young Wolf is already saying he's going. I kind of figured that. Looking at some stuff here on Instagram right now. People on Instagram saying what up. What's going on, people on Instagram? If you guys are just tuning in and you guys are coming in through Instagram, go to the link in my bio, click on that, click on the YouTube. It's gonna send you to the YouTube channel here. Come on over and have a conversation with your boy over on YouTube. because I'm not really paying attention to the messages on Instagram. I just have it on so you guys can hear my lovely, lovely voice. But I'm about to get out of here right now because right now it is 7:56. We've been on here for 55 minutes. And I'm gonna get ready for AEW Dynamite. I'm just clicking away here, checking to see if there's anything else we could talk about. Oh yeah, that's right. Liv Morgan got a new haircut. So I'm assuming that when she comes back from injury, we're gonna see a whole new Liv Morgan. That's gonna be great, right? You know what? I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Because obviously they're not gonna kick me off because of. Click it over here. Scott Steiner. As we close out, wow, okay. As we close this out here. See, Full Gear will take place at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, California on November 18th. Got Sky Sports letting us know. Got my man. He just met Rhea Ripley over at that was over in Detroit. Bunny reportedly expected to be returning to the ring from injury soon. We just talked about her. What else is going on here? No. What is going on with this PlayStation? That is dirty. Are you really? Oh my God. Are you guys seeing it? Can I hold on? Let's can I move that in a little bit more? Can we go? Yeah, here we go. All right, let's just go with this one. This is a dope picture of. Is this the official? Yeah. Oh wow. I love the official poster to Payback, which is featuring the Judgment Day. That's pretty cool. I don't know what that is. Some more. My Instagram is all over the place. Obviously, Ricochet's fiance. We're just wrapping up here. I'm about to get up out of here. I don't know who was that there. Let's see. Tyler Hero. All right, we're gonna cut it off here. But that is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out. I'm gonna go watch AEW Dynamite. Enjoy yourselves. Follow me on all socials. You can catch me every single Monday at 7:30 with my boy Toe as we go over Monday Night Raw. We have a good time there. We're gonna bring back wrestling trivia. So if you guys have fun when you was looking at wrestling trivia in the past, by all means, jump on in. Let's have some fun again, like we did in the past. Well, now we know what Kenny looks at. I look at everything, Young Wolf. Don't get it twisted. I look at everything. Okay, I follow a whole lot of shit. But guys, it was really great chatting with you. Thank you for coming out for another Conversations with Kenny. You got to know a little bit more about me. I got to get to know a little bit more about you. This is what we do every single Wednesday. Today we just talked about wrestling, but next week we'll talk about a little bit more. Obviously, we'll get into more stuff. Next Wednesday we'll go back into our normal format. What do you think of? Oh, now I got to answer another question here because we got another person that just came in. What is going on? What do you think of the Wall Street Profits? Oh, okay. Yeah, so that one right there, I could definitely say getting the new Street Profits in there the way that they're doing is gold. I really hope that the Street Profits continue to be heels and do something positive with this, especially with having them with Bobby Lashley, and they can sit there and win some tag team gold, because right now we need new tag team champions because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are gone. When should Roman drop the belt? I think Roman should keep the belt all the way until WrestleMania 40 and drop it to Cody. Let's just continue having this thing with Cody Rhodes. The Street Profits are not great. What do you mean the Street Profits are not great? The Street Profits are one of the best tag teams that they have right now, besides the New Day. No, I disagree. So who do you think? All right, Arthur. Arthur Park says that the Street Profits are not great. Let's throw this up here. Let's give them some shine. Welcome on in. Arthur, who would you select as a tag team that is better than the Street Profits? I'll wait so we could get your opinion on this. Roman and Solo. So so now, okay, so Arthur says that Roman and Solo could be the better tag team. Obviously, Arthur, you know that we need to get new men's tag team champions, and you want to put another title on Roman Reigns and then give Solo that title as well. He also said, I think RVD and Kane, but we can't use. Well, Connor now is saying RVD and Kane. You can't put RVD and Kane because they're not a tag team anymore. They're not even in the company anymore. The Street Profits are the third best tag team in WWE. That is true. That is true. And they can easily move up to up that tag team ranks. I think he's a child, bro. Oh, probably. Street Profits are the only legit tag team they have. That's true, Young Wolf. RVD is now in AEW. That is true, and he's wrestling tonight against Jack Perry. New Day is better. New Day just came back on Monday. You know what, Arthur? I totally agree with you on that one. That I would say the New Day is way better, right? And they could win tag team gold again. Kofi Kingston did say that on the bump today, that he would like to go back and try and win tag team gold again. Let's see. I like Sin Cara. Yeah, Sin Cara was cool. I wish Sin Cara would be in AEW. I think he would fit that format that AEW is looking for. Let's see. SOS, I hear them calling. Really? Maybe second now that the Usos are done. Yeah, that's true. Because the Usos, they're not going to be a tag team much longer. Kofi Kingston is gold. You know, I want to highlight you guys because I like some fact you guys are just. Let's see here. Kofi deserves another solo push. You know what? I agree with you on that one. I think so. I think Kofi does deserve another solo push. I did not like the way that they ended his title reign, with just being squashed by Brock Lesnar that quickly. You know what I mean? And then when he became WWE champion, I just felt like WWE didn't have a lot of people for him. You know, and it was like you gave him Samoa Joe, you gave him Randy Orton, you gave him Dolph Ziggler, and it's just like, why? It was getting so stale. You know, I think Riddle will be the failure and release. Yeah, I really think once they start doing WWE cuts, Connor, I really think that that Riddle would be one of those people that were cut because just the fact is like he's so stale. A lot of people are not rocking with him right now. So it's just like, do you really want to keep him around? You know what I mean? And no one's safe when it comes to cuts because we've seen when they did those cuts that Bray Wyatt got cut, and you would have thought that Bray Wyatt wouldn't get cut. Kofi and Asuka deserve real pushes. You know what? You're absolutely right. I really think that Asuka deserves another big push in WWE. I was so surprised that they took the title off of her at SummerSlam the way that they did. And hopefully they would do something with her down the line where maybe we can see a little bit more from Asuka. Get to another comment here. Do you think Big E will return? I see him coming back as a manager. Do I see Big E coming back? I definitely do see Big E coming back. I'm hoping that he can come back and wrestle again. I know doctors said there were reports where the doctors was just like, you shouldn't wrestle anymore. That's the same thing they told Stone Cold Steve Austin when he broke his neck. The same thing they told Lita. Obviously, we're seeing Saraya now in AEW, somewhat killing it, trying to be a little bit safe, but she's gotten to come back. They told the same thing to Edge years ago, and he came back. So I'm really hoping that we get to see Big E come back sometime soon. And I know that the day he comes back is going to get the hugest pop that you could possibly think of. Let's go back. I'm going to get back to a couple of Bray may be fighting for his life in private. That is true. I really do think that because there's so much that's going on with Bray Wyatt behind the scenes that not a lot of people know. It's just all speculation. It's just what people are hearing. You know, we hear like say from Fightful or from other news sources that people like Dave Meltzer and John Alvarez and stuff like that. But we really don't know what exactly is going on with Bray Wyatt The only person that knows what's going on with Bray Wyatt is himself and his wife, his family, right? So let's see. Arthur goes and says, let's highlight him. Is there a way for Chad Gable to end Gunther's reign? I see him winning it at Survivor Series. I do too. I say they're going to leave the title on Gunther until he passes the Honky Tonk Man. Once he passes the Honky Tonk Man, ladies and gentlemen, it is fair game for the next person to go up there and take that title away from Gunther. And you know what? I love the simple fact that Arthur said Chad Gable. It's a choice that I would have recommended too, because Chad Gable has been proving himself time in and time out that he could be a guy to hold this title. Shit, you could even put him with the United States title, and that would have been good. And I would have been happy with that. But let's see. Hopefully, we get Chad Gable as IC champ someday. I'm really hoping close to the end of the year. Maybe at Survivor Series, we can get that to happen. Oscar was done filthy last Saturday. I love Io, but at the same time, Oscar was basically the transitional champ. And that came from my guy, Robert. That is true. It was just like a waiting to see what would happen next. Same thing they told Daniel Bryan. That is true. Look at Daniel Bryan. Now he's back. Austin Stone Cold should beat Roman. That, you know what? That would be something. Or John Cena or Dean Ambrose. I like him, and I like Rey Mysterio too. Yeah, I do like Rey Mysterio. I just seen him on NXT, so let's see what he's gonna do there. Still trying to beat his son's ass, which I hope that he does soon. Let's see here. Let's go to one more before I get out of here. Are you doing a true push for? Are they doing a true push for LA Knight? I like his feud with The Miz. But is it really a good way to push him? I really think it is, because now you're starting to show not only are you a big star with the fans, but you're also really good on a microphone too. You know, so what better person to be on a microphone battle with than The Miz? The Miz is good on a microphone. He can hang with the best of them. And right now, that promo that they cut together on Raw was great. Do you think that Gunther drops the IC title? Does he go directly for after Seth? If so, where does that leave Priest? I think Priest is going to cash in his Money in the Bank. I think at this point, coming close to the end of the year, Seth Rollins is going to lose that championship, and Damian Priest will be champion. I think we may see a feud between Damian Priest and Gunther down the line. Would it be this year? I don't think so. I think it's going to be more towards Royal Rumble or day one, if we even have day one. But I can definitely see Gunther going after that World Heavyweight Championship. Even if you try to, I think the way I see it is, if you wait until WrestleMania 40, you're going to have Gunther go after Cody. Once Cody wins the championship from Roman, he's going to lose to Cody, and then he's going to go right after Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins still has that title, or whoever has that title. I can see it happening. 2024 is going to be another year for Gunther to dominate that ring the way he did now with that IC title. And if you throw on that heavyweight title to Gunther, he's going to dominate that too. I can see it. He's so good. He's one of the only people that I've seen this transition from NXT onto the main roster and did well, besides like Kevin Owens for the time that he was when he feuded with Cena. They were brought up and did well, you know. Damian Priest is influencing me with those fake cash-ins. I don't get why him and Finn are doing it, really. I mean, obviously, when you're a leader or you're a part of a group and you guys are going after the same thing, there's gonna be some tension there. There's gonna be that, oh, like, I want it more than you do. Gunther is the UK Brock to me. Yeah, no, he is, because he's one of those guys that, like, protect your chest at all times, because you're gonna leave out of there fucked up and you're gonna leave out of there red. But I am going past my time now. Guys, like I said, you can check me out every single Monday, 7:30. Here on YouTube. You can catch me with the Knuckleheads every single other day if I get a chance to hang out with them. But on Mondays, 7:30, you can rock out with me here. We go over Monday Night Raw. We answer questions. We play trivia every single Wednesday, 7 o'clock. I'm here. If you guys want to chat, we go over different stuff besides wrestling. Obviously, today was more wrestling heavy than anything else. But yeah, you get to know a little bit more about me. I get to a little bit more about you. You can talk your shit. It's completely fine. I'm so used to it. But guys, be easy. Enjoy AEW Dynamite. Let's talk about that show maybe tomorrow if I can jump on, and we'll talk a little bit more. Guys, until next time, be safe.